Mrs. Weebles also goes on to say, Sylvia wanted to borrow my calligraphy pen. I gave her some baby wipes so she could clean her muddy hands. I didn't want her smudging her note cards. So we know Sylvia then was the one with the note card. So we're going to put an O there and X's in the rest of that row and column. And that leaves only one space for and that'll be for Maggie. So Maggie we know is green. And so the note, Sylvia we already knew had 20 pieces. So we're going to put O for 20 in under note cards. And Mrs. Weeble says, it would have been a shame after all that work she'd put in. You could tell she'd spent hours decorating all those popsicle sticks she had been poking into the ground. So then we know that Sylvia was poking the sticks into the ground, so I'm going to put an X there. And X is in the rest of that row and column. Get that one there. And that she was the one that was using popsicle sticks. So we'll put an O there, and X is there. So that, again, leaves just one space, and that has to be Maggie with the glue. And since we know Maggie had 12 pieces, we know the glue had 12 pieces, so I'm going to put an O there. And X is in the column and in the row. And then we also know that, let's see, the green paper was Maggie, and Maggie had 12 pieces, so I'm going to put an O there. Finish that column off. I'm going to put an O for glue under Maggie's column there. So X is there and X is there. And that lets me remember that the note cards, which was Sylvia's, had to be with the popsicle sticks, which we already knew Sylvia had. And she was also poking those popsicle sticks into the dirt. So we can put an O there and X's for the rest of that row and column. And so now we'll finish up this column here for Sylvia. So we know Sylvia had 20. So she was poking sticks in the ground for 20 popsicle sticks. So we're going to put X's in the rest of that column and row. And we know that she was using popsicle sticks, so we can put an O here and X's for the rest of that row and column. And that tells us that this leftover spot had to be for string with one piece. And we know that's Jose. Alrighty, and let's go back and see what else we can see. So let's see what Jose we can know about here. Jose has a string. He uses one piece, and Jose is using the graph paper, and we know he was measuring shadows, so we can fill that in. And we're going to put an O there and X there in that column in that row. And that leaves Maggie that was digging in the dirt. So we'll put an O there. And Maggie had 12 pieces of paper, so we'll put an O for that column, and then the rest of the row and column there get X's. And Maggie was using glue, so we're going to put O there, and X's for the rest of that row and column. And we already know that the popsicle sticks were for the note cards, and that was poking them into the ground. So we're going to put O there and X's for the rest of that row and column. And that leaves us with measuring in the string for Jose. So we can fill that box in. And since measuring things was the thing Jose did, and Jose used the graph paper, we can put O there, and we'll put an X for the column and row. And then digging in the dirt had to be Maggie. And that leaves us one last piece here with measuring, which we know is Jose and his one piece of paper. So now everything's filled out, and we can look at the green paper, which was the bile-colored green paper that the nasty cards were written on, and we can see that Maggie is the person that was tormenting the bug boy.